Former Xerox chief executive Ursula Burns made history in 2009 as the first African-American woman CEO of a Fortune 500 company. She spent 36 years at Xerox, working her way from engineer all the way to the top. During the Obama administration, Burns also led the White House STEM program for 7 years, making her a champion of science and technology, along with engineering and math. That's what STEM stands for. Today, Burns serves on the boards of Uber, ExxonMobil, Nestle, the Mayo Clinic, and MIT, among others. Her new memoir, Where You Are Is Not Who You Are, details her path to success. And I'm happy to say Ursula Burns joins us now. Ursula, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony. Nice to be here.
I really appreciate you being here. It's a very sharply observed and blunt book. The title, Where You Are Is Not Who You Are, is fantastic. It's a lesson from your mother, a single mom. It's good because it works where you are now, but also where you started. How did it help you in your career?
I had to always remember during my rise to the top, per se, that those circumstances of, as I progressed, were only a portion of who I was myself. I had to actually always remember that people around me, even if they didn't have as much as I had or had more, were worthy of attention and being listened to, etc. It was my mother's way of saying that don't get too big for your britches, right? Make sure that you understand that humans are humans and that they require or deserve respect and being cared for.
Yeah, your mother had a lot of instructions that helped you along the way. And you also point out that Xerox, the company you worked at for so long, was a pioneer in diversity. But I'm curious, what do you think holds back all the other potential Ursula Burnses out there from getting the opportunities that you got along the way?
Yeah, I think that there are two words. One, the words that you use, hold back, is one, right? We start in a different place. We start generally with poor educational institutions, poor health care, less food or bad food. All of the starting points that launch you into life are scarce if you live in poverty. Safety, comfort, those types of things. That's one set. The other is that there are people who have power today who prefer to keep it. And the institutions and the structures and the processes that we use to govern, to make decisions, to choose, are all based on a historic look and feel. That's generally the white male look and feel. Don't get me wrong, I like white males. It's just that right now the world, it has always been, but now it's pretty obvious that the world has been tilted in their favor for a very long time, and we have to actually adjust it a bit to make it a more quote-unquote level playing field, at least from the start.
Ursula, last time you were on CBS This Morning, you had just co-signed a letter with other executives against restrictive voting laws in Georgia. Since then, more states have moved to restrict voting access. Are you concerned that corporations aren't having enough influence?
I am concerned that they're not saying enough and therefore not having enough influence. The voting restrictions, in my opinion, this is definitely personal, they're shameful. I mean, one of the things that I think about when I think about America, everybody thinks about when they think about America, is fundamental freedom and the right for every individual, legally qualified to do so, of course, has to select who their leadership will be, who will represent them. And states across the nation are making that harder and harder to do. Most of us try to make it easier and easier to do, not harder and harder to do. So it's a surprising thing. Companies must, absolutely must, have a say in this. This is not a black issue. This is not a female issue. This is not a brown issue. This is an American issue.
What more should they be doing, Ursula, quickly, if you would?
Speaking out, actually getting involved and getting engaged, having an opinion. I mean, this is not like I said, this is not a political, racial issue. This is a political, structural issue that, of course, we're interested in. We're interested in trade, right? We speak about that. Immigration, we speak about that. We should also be interested and speak out about things that affect equality and just good business practices in our country as well.
Yeah, Ursula, the book is concentrated wisdom and a powerful cultural critique as well. Thank you for joining us this morning. The book, again, is called Where You Are Is Not Who You Are, and it's on sale right now.